The Cardiff Gazette on Express Radio.
Welcome back. You are listening to Lucy on Express Radio. That was Ed Sheeran with Lego House. Gotta say, love the video for this song. It's Rupert Grint, some creepy stalker, so check it out. We're going to move on now to the more light-hearted part of the show, our weekly feature. Every week I'll be bringing you a topical feature from the week. This week we'll be covering November, the 5th of November, or Bonfire Night. Which was last Saturday. A horrendous fail cost thousands of pounds in Oban, Scotland. A technical hitch at the annual Oban Bonfire Night display set off thousands of pounds worth of fireworks within a minute. The show was intended to last half an hour and was to be accompanied by music. After the unexpectedly short 50-second display, an announcement had to be made to inform the crowds of its finish. The show had been advertised as starting promptly at 7, and visitors were asked to contribute generously to help cover the cost. Now, I have to say, having watched the video of said fireworks on the BBC News, it cannot be denied that they were very, very impressive. But imagine if you turned up late, i.e. a minute, you would have missed everything. Now, not just a technical hitch, I think, a massive technical fail. Now, while still on the subject of fails, I have an absolutely horrendous joke for you. Please don't judge me for it, but I thought, because it was bonfire night less than a week ago, I could maybe just about get away with it. So here goes. A latecomer arrives at a house and asks, "Am I too late for the bonfire?" The host asks, "No, jump on there, on the sticks, there is room next to that guy." Oh, dreadful, I know, but I couldn't help putting it in there. Personally, love bonfire night. My friends and I were, I have to say, a little bit sneaky this time round. Sparks in the Park was a whopping £10 this year. Now, on a student budget, that is £10 that I could definitely need for a Tesco shop, or maybe two. So we strolled down to an unmanned entrance to Butte Park. Now, thinking how clever we were, we praised ourselves. However, there was a reason for that being an unmanned entrance. The view of the fireworks was somewhat obscured by... Now, when I say a large, I mean massive oak tree. One of those ones that pretty much reaches the sky. So when I say we watched the fireworks in Butte Park, we watched the little sparkle behind a mass of green leaves, but the sound we could hear, so I'm definitely going to praise us for our money-saving prowess. And plus, there was totally an amateur fireworks show going on behind us. Nothing was lost, but we saved £10. Oh yeah. But as always, I think I might have gone a little bit off topic, so let's get back to it. Guy Fawkes Night, also known as Guy Fawkes Day, Bonfire Night and Firework Night, is an annual event observed on the 5th of November. On the 5th of November 1605, Guy Fawkes, a member of the Gunpowder Plot, was arrested while guarding explosives the plotters had placed beneath the Parliament. Or the Houses of Parliament, even. Bonfire Night celebrates the fact that King James I survived the attempt on his life. To commemorate the event, people lit bonfires around London, and months later the introduction of the Observance of the 5th of November Act enforced an annual public day of thanksgiving for the plot's failure. Thankfully for us, the holiday still exists, and like Halloween, it's a fantastic excuse for a celebration. Now, I know some people will say it's just a waste of money, and perhaps the fail in Oban illustrates this, but I think in this modern age where people are so busy all of the time, something like Bonfire Night really does bring people together for a common reason, which is lovely when you think about it. But what do you think? Let us know your thoughts. Or have you done anything exciting this bonfire night that you'd like to share with us? Get in touch with us by text studio, then your message to 82010. Email us at studio@expressradio.co.uk, or give us a phone call at 02920 781 530. Now, I'm going to get another tune on for you now. You are listening to Express Radio with Lucy. We've got the weird and the bizarre section coming up next, so do stay tuned. Next up, I've got Junk of the Heart by the Kooks for you. That was Noel Gallagher with If I Had a Gun. Welcome back. You are listening to Express Radio. Now going to move on to pretty much my favourite part of the show, the freaky and the bizarre. Now you do hear some, shall we say, interesting stories. This week I've picked out 3 which are just bizarre. Devastating news for the Vulcan Lounge in Catay's Cardiff this week. The resident goldfish has been stolen. Yes, you heard correctly, stolen. Apparently, a drunken man downed his pint and then used his pint glass to scoop up the fish. It makes you wonder, as this was apparently all witnessed by onlookers, that the man wasn't stopped. However, Vulcan Lounge is offering a £50 reward for the safe return of the fish called Mary. Can't really believe that a man walking around Cardiff with a fish in an empty pint glass went unnoticed, but there we are. I just think this is unbelievable. Why would you even want to steal a goldfish of all things? Just bizarre. It really, really is. I mean, if I woke up after a night out and a goldfish raving it up in a pint glass next to my bed, I wouldn't be praising myself. And more weirdness this week, this time in Canada. A man is keeping a buffalo as a pet. Now, this might not be too bad, but this buffalo weighs 1,820 pounds. That is 130 stone, for God's sake. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should own a chihuahua so they can keep it in their handbag, but seriously, there has got to come a point when you think, hang on, maybe, just maybe, this isn't such a fabulous idea. And possibly even more ridiculous is the fact that owner Jim Saltner has been dubbed the Buffalo Whisperer and takes the buffalo named Bailey to the local bar to drink beer with him. Oh my God, that is all. Genuinely, I would love to know what goes through these people's minds. I mean, I remember one time on holiday I saw a woman walking a goat on a lead, and I thought that was weird enough. But seriously, a buffalo! But anyway. And finally, this week, a pregnant woman has developed a craving for roadkill. Yeah, you heard, roadkill. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Alison Brearley, perhaps unsurprisingly, is both an artist and taxidermist. The 42-year-old has been eating an array of animals killed along her local roads in Harrogate, North Yorkshire. Usually I eat really healthily, she said, but now I'm pregnant, I just get strong cravings for roadkill. What? Now, I've heard of weird cravings, but not this weird. She then goes on to say, it's more gamey than other meat, and I love the taste. I also don't have to feel guilty about eating it because I know it's completely free range and natural life. Oh, please, don't go into detail. I'm not sure my stomach can handle it. Then, even more bizarrely, the 42-year-old admitted that she has even hosted roadkill dinner parties for her friends. Who would go to that? Seriously! I genuinely don't know what goes through these people's minds. This story is just Ming. I genuinely don't even know what to say. It's just too weird for me, that is all. It just makes me want to cry just a little bit, or maybe just throw up. And on that note, that's all from the freaky and the bizarre this week. I'm sure there will be many more weird stories to follow. We've actually had some text messages in today. One from, let me just find the name. In fact, it doesn't even have a name. We'd like to know who sent these, but this is with regards to X Factor. This person has said, glad Frankie has been kicked off the X Factor. Will give space for a legitimate actor Phil. I'm happy about this too. I thought he couldn't even sing. We've had another text in from Pete. He says, think people would respect Fabio Capello more if he did fly home to his son's wedding. Who else would miss that for a football match? Damn right, Peter. Damn right. I hope you've all enjoyed the show today. My name is Lucy Barclay and this is the Cardiff Gazette. To end today, I've got an interesting fact for you. Tomorrow at 11:11 and 11 seconds, it will be 11:11:11:11. Well, you get the picture. That's a lot of 11s. Tune in next week for more of our main news stories from across the world and, of course, the less serious ones. Thanks for listening. This is Express Radio and you have been listening to the Cardiff Gazette.
The Cardiff Gazette on Express Radio.